Hey everybody, Xdesign 101 here, and we're going to be switching our art from our monster cube to the samurai, but you can be changing it to whatever you want. He will be dying. He will have XP, I see min XP, max XP, ready to give. He sets his level between 8 and 10, so technically 8 and 9 because the random and range never uses its max number actually. So if he is the rare level 9, you know what I mean, he will give you more experience. Well, if you can get the max experience as well would be a thing because it's random and range, right? But let's create this, guys. So we're gonna start off with that cube we had before here. Just gonna pop it right next to here. We're gonna go in straight and just delete this cube on the inside of it, so we still have this. We're gonna wanna drag and drop our character model right inside here. As you can see, it is small. We will be sizing that by changing the main size at some point. So we'll do that. First, we're going to start off by finishing up the character fix here with the colliders, and we need this to be level. So let's scroll down here and level this out. So we want to 0 on this base offset, set this to, I don't know, what, 1.8? Does that sound okay? Oh, that's actually perfect. Word. 1.8, scroll down here, so 1.8, raise that up a bit. Next, put that to a 0. This is going to be like a 1 or something. Down just a little. Oops. There we go. Nah, we need it to be like a solid 9. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we'll change the name of the art of this to art. Change the name of this to samurai, and then we'll just call it chest. Had an itchy ear there. Oh, probably why. There's hair going in my ear. Okay, so a few changes we're gonna want to do to this character here. We're gonna actually, we're not gonna do that just yet. We're gonna save it in our NPCs here. We're gonna size it to 2, and then 2.5. Wow, way too big. So we'll just use this and free size it as long as it's together. We're still not. I would rather just see 1.8. I guess 2. That looks about good, yeah. Alright, cool, we can do that. Save it one more time. As you may have noticed, I also upped the scale of my player character, and if you do up the scale of your player character to 2, 2, and 2, which is actually needed, a few things to note would be sometimes your camera's target offset might be a little low. It might be aiming towards the lower back. You can just change that here. I put mine to 2.8. It's about aiming at the shoulders if I was able to zoom right in there. And then set your min distance to a higher number. This way you're not so close to the character anymore. Because, you know, a min distance of 1 with a large character, you'll almost be in the character. So when you do that, all you really have to do is change the scale of the main of your prefab. That's it, and then change that offset in the camera script here, in the hierarchy, or the inspector, I should say. and then just apply. That's all you have to do for him. The samurai, everything here seems to be working good. Now we want to actually make an attack for him. So we're going to go into our main editor, skills. You can literally just copy or slash by pressing the copy button here. Once you copy the slash, you'll change the name to samurai slash. A few things to change here. In basic, you have an execution time and a cooldown time. Your execution time is actually used for your newbies out there, not for you guys who know what an execution time is used for, but it's how long it takes for you to cast your skill, you know what I mean? So if you're swinging your sword really slow, you don't want to use another skill and then it interrupt you in mid-swing. You actually want it to force the full attack before you can use another attack, thus not causing any animation glitching. So your execution time would be based off of the length of your attack. Your cooldown time, obviously, how often you could use the attack. After you've used it, you want to turn off your perform uncheck, not turn off works too, but perform while moving. You don't need that, not because at least I'm not using that. If you get animations that sync with your combat and your movement properly, then go ahead, by all means, do some perform while moving, but I will not be doing it like that. So, and this is the samurai slash anyway, so you would probably want it to stop while it's attacking. This way you can still, you'll still hit damage, but you'll have like that kind of second to kind of get further away from him if it's a fasting running creature or something, right? So yeah, just follow these general settings. You're going to want to change your target methods to selected instead of auto, and your direction slash location to at selected instead of actor direction. Your hit delay is based off of the, what do you call that? You want it only to hit at the right time. So like you'll watch yourself swing the sword, and then you'll be like, okay, I want it to hit at about like 0.1 second, you know what I mean? So then you just adjust this until you see that your hit effect pops up at the right time for you when it hits the character, so causing damage, the proper zone. Adjust the height as well. I'm going to try to put mine up to 100 here because it's a little low still. And yeah, that's all the changes you needed right there for that. So now we can just rush right into the edit events. And our you won't have to change your on skill hit because it uses everything that this is using, so we're all good to go. But your on skill activate here, we will change from using a crossfade to using a blend animation because we're using legacy. So you just drop that in there. You'll type the name in to find the name of your animation. I'm sure most of you know how to do that, but just in case, find your pack, open child, and find the exact name of the animation you want to use. So attack. Capitalization is a must. Then you want to make sure that you find a temporary game object. And then of course we want to make sure that we're using the temporary variables that come with these events. So skill owner, capitalization and everything is a definite must, like I said. And with that, now it'll blend the animation properly when you use the attack for the NPC. Now that is all good to go. You want to click on your NPC. We then want to add the samurai slash into the NPC. We then want to open the blocks of the NPC. We'll add a apply RPG NPC on AI think. We're then going to put an if then in there. We're going to check if, scroll down, we're going to grab A is not equal B. We're going to go back to our character tab here. We want to get selected of self, so the samurai, if the samurai is selected to something, but we want to make sure that it's not selected to something. So if is not equal null, so it's not going to let us well, it's not going to let the NPC cast its attack unless he's targeting something. That's what we're doing here. So get selected of self, not equal component. I mean game object right here, yeah, in the common. You put that there, and you can leave that as null. As you see, the value says none game object. So you're just checking to see if the character selected a game object. So there is none. So then we want to. So this is asking if there. It's pretty much telling me the opposite of not having something. So that means it's actually asking if I'm doing anything. You know what I mean? It's a strange block to use, the not equal block. But if you read it here, check if two values are not equal, returns true. So we want get selected of self and then game object null. So it means if these are not true, so it means if your NPC has a game object, boom, it's gonna work. That came out so much better that time. Perfect. Sorry for rambling on about that, but I just couldn't leave the newbies out there not knowing what's going on. Now we want to go back to character and just grab the use skill. Underneath the skills, we want to let self use skill, grab this samurai slash. So now when we play the game here, he will attack. There's a certain thing that I'll have to adjust based on I forgot to actually pop the animations in there. Hold on here. We need to go back into our samurai, add component, Plygame, character, animation, legacy. I want idle. My jump is going to be the death for this because there's no death. Walk. Just walk in all of them and then run in all of them. Boom. Alright, save that. Now everything will work just fine. Even that little error that we just seen, that's because there was no animated controller, but now there is one. So now if we go up to him here, he's gonna kill me. There goes my health slowly. I could kill him too. I'm probably gonna die before him though. Yes, I did, but if we check his health, he had 2 health. So we're doing pretty good. Next tutorial, we'll definitely add health bars so that we can see our enemy's health. We're getting close to our menu tutorials too, so now we want our NPC to give us experience, but first we need to set a few things. So let's set a float here. I'm gonna call it min XP. Then we want max XP. And keep those both at 0. And then in our apply blocks here, we're gonna want to go into our custom, add a on state enter. Here it was itchy again. On state enter. In the on state enter, we actually want to set the level. So character, set level of self to math, random float, integer. This uses an integer. This is going to be a levels 8 and 10. If you read the instructions here, it'll never actually reach the max. It'll always use the one less than max. The only time it'll use the max number is if it's like 8 and 8. Then it'll obviously come back as 8. So that we now have our 8 to 10. So it could be either level 8 or 10. With that, we now actually want to set a couple local game variables here. We want to get the min XP in self and the max XP in self, and we want to set them to math float times, we'll put 2 times is in there because it's the way how I want to do it, but you can do the math however you want to do it in your game here. we're not going to go to character. I want to get level from self here. So yes, I know we're casting both levels, so it means it's going to do, but now we also want to get a float here and put the float here. So this is the max experience. We want to set the max experience to like 5 and then the min experience to like 2. So if you think about it, open a calculator here. We go 8 times 5 times 8, 320. Then you do 320, and then if you were to, that's your max experience that you can get for this level of character. That's how we're going with, you know what I mean? So like you just adjust these two middle numbers to get slightly higher numbers, and then obviously the level would change depending on your character. So now this is going to set that so that when you get your experience on death here, we're going to click here, add a PlyRPG actor on death, and we're going to change attribute here. We want to change the value of experience of player by math. No, I clicked on items. Oops. Math random float. We're now going to want to grab the local floats here, 1 and 2, min XP and max experience. So basically we want to set the experience of the value of experience of the player by random in range, so it's going to go take our minimum XP and our maximum XP, so it can give us a little bit of any number, you know what I mean? So it could come up as 320, it can be 305, it can be, if the minimum would be like 120 or something, let's say, it can give me 120 to anywhere in between. That's pretty much what it's going to do, which is exactly what we want for the experience. And there you go, now that's awarding us some experience on death. I'm just thinking quick things, if there's anything else that needs to be done. I don't think so. Let's fight him and see. So we click on our samurai test. We have our health right here. We scroll down. We have 200 minimum XP and our maximum XP is 500. So that means his level is level 10. So we're gonna smoke him. Oh, I'm not really hitting hard. He's gonna own me. He has too much health. One more hit and I'm like dead. Yep, gone. As you can see, the animation he's using is too long. I can trim that animation actually, so that the attack isn't 2 attacks in one and be only 1 attack, but that would be crappy. So what you can just do is go into your skill, samurai slash, and change your delay time. So that's like 0.6 or something. Almost a whole second. I would do that. Maybe even a whole second. I'll do 1.7. We'll test that, quick things, and then we'll end our tutorial because you generally know everything. One thing too, actually, our splat that we made last time, we did not add a auto destroy function. So as you'll see, it's gonna slowly start it would slowly start filling up, but I already added it without recording it. But he won't die because he has too much health now. Obviously, he's too high of a level. But as you can see, when he hits, he doesn't actually kill me before his animation runs through the part that hits me, more or less. So that's good now. Go back into your assets here, your splat 2. Just add the auto destroy after timeout component here. In 1 second works, so just leave it as is. So this way, when it builds in. It's not going to just, stay there and then fill up the hierarchy and cause lag in the game mid-game. We want it to auto-destroy. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this video was helpful. It definitely works well. You guys got your min XP, max XP, everything. Next episode, we're going to actually be putting in a sample UI. We were talking about, someone was talking about whether or not I should do Inventory Pro as the inventory system, but I felt like I wanted to use the sample UI and then just kind of build everything on top of that from scratch, just because it would help you guys a lot more, like to understand the Plyblock system. That, and I will make a side tutorial series with the Inventory Pro once we finish up most of the tutorials with our building inventory. We'll have everything ranging from making our UI to making the images for our UIs, just to kind of spice things up a bit. We're going to be doing our terrain. We'll be getting terrain and stuff like that actually done really soon as well, but we want to be able to see, the health bar on top of our enemy's head. So next video we're going to get these smaller things done in the next 2 videos, we'll say, ish. Maybe 2 or 3, I don't know. We'll do that. But anyway, I've blabbled on long enough to you guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you've been enjoying. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.